I'm not even sure if I'm going to fit in here, but we are going to try and see. I need to catch a breath. The further I drive, the quieter everything starts getting. And by the time I pull into the park, it almost feels like the quietness is waiting for me already. It had already rained earlier this morning, so everything still feels soaked. Water is still dripping off the trees. The wooden steps are wet, and the further I walk down into the forest, the quieter everything starts getting. You can still hear birds everywhere, but after the rain, even that sounds softer somehow. Late spring always changes the feeling of places like this. And then the trail suddenly opens up. And there it is, Dance Hall Cave. Honestly, it doesn't even feel like Iowa standing here. You walk through trees and rain and mud for a while, and then suddenly there's just this massive cave underneath the forest. The closer I got to it, the colder the air starts feeling. And once you step underneath the rock, the temperature changes immediately. The first thing I noticed in dancehall isn't actually the size or temperature. It's the sound. Every step bounces around the cave differently, and somehow there are birds flying around in here too. The further I go, the more the cave starts narrowing down into a tunnel. At the entrance, you kind of naturally duck a little. Not because anyone tells you to. It just feels like the cave wants you to slow down before going inside. There are lights running through the tunnel, but they only light the path itself. Everything past that disappears into darkness, unless you point a flashlight at it. And if you're not paying attention, you can walk right past parts of the cave without even noticing they're there. I didn't even notice the rain coming back. Everything just sounded softer out here now. I'm not even sure if I'm going to fit in here, but we are going to try and see. The second you get inside, everything gets quiet fast. Can't believe I'm inside the cave for the first time.
quietness inside this thing. There's water inside here.
There are smaller openings leading up higher into the cave. Maybe that's where the up and down part comes from.
Now we have to figure out our way out. Hopefully we don't get lost. Okay, we got this.
You don't really realize how quiet it gets in there until you come back outside again. These two were just sitting there the whole time, like they'd been waiting for me to come back out. The farther down the trail I go, the more every cave starts feeling completely different from the last one. Some are wide open, some barely let you inside at all. At one point, I came across this tiny opening with nothing but a number next to it. No sign, no explanation, just two. Honestly, I am not even sure how far it goes.
I just came across this hideout, and now I'm curious to see where it goes. This hideout is one of those that you crawl, so you can't stand, you just go. I need to catch a breath.
Yeah, this one definitely won. By the time I finally got back out, my shoes are soaked, my pants are covered in mud, and honestly, I am not even sure what part of me is still clean anymore. Windows Cave feels different almost immediately. Not as massive as Dance Hall, and definitely not as tight as Up and Down.
We are now inside the Windows Cave.
You can actually hear the water dripping from the ceiling the whole time you are inside. It doesn't really keep going deeper either. You walk in, spend a few minutes looking around, and then suddenly you're back outside again. At some point, I started noticing caves opening higher up in the limestone. And honestly, once you see something up there, it's hard not to try climbing up to it. Sometimes the only way to see what's hidden around here is to climb a little. After spending that much time underground, the trail feels completely different. Everything feels more open again. You notice the breeze more. The air feels cooler. And then right when I thought I was heading back, I noticed one more cave off the trail. This one looked way smaller than the others, but at this point, curiosity kind of wins. So of course, I had to see what was inside. The limestone in here feels rougher, sharper, and way more uneven. Everything is slippery too, so every step takes a little more attention. By the time I climb back up the stairs, my shoes are soaked and pants are covered in mud. And honestly, I don't even care. Places like this kind of earn that from you. The drive back out somehow feels quieter after a place like this. Not much traffic, barely any houses, just long curves through the trees. And after spending the day underground, even the road starts feeling different. That's probably my favorite part about drives like this. You don't just remember the place, you remember the feeling the road left you with afterwards. Thanks for watching. This is Mini Miles Adventures, seeing what's possible with less, 1 mile at a time.